Watch the Mega Millions drawing live tonight here on TV23. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublette, this is High Plains Today.
Hi, everybody. Yippee skippy. You know what? It is Friday. Welcome to High Plains Today on TV23. Today's show, it's Friday. It means Dr. Jack. He'll be here soon, so hang around. Let's take a look at some happenings out there. Well, Garden City Police responded to a reported armed robbery late Thursday night that led to a nearly hour-long lockdown of the Garden City Community College campus. Garden City Police said there was an armed robbery near the Mooyah restaurant on Kansas Avenue. By the way, Garden City Police do have 3 suspects currently logged into the Penney County Jail. Students were urged to remain indoors around 10 p.m. via email and text alerts. The all-clear was given at around 10:50 p.m. 50-year-old Carlos Ortiz Olivares made his first appearance via video at the Ford County District Courthouse on Wednesday. Olivares has been charged with murder in the first degree in conjunction with felony rape. Now, the charge is from an incident that occurred in January of 2014 that allegedly led to the death of 28-year-old Jessica Blancett in Dodge City. Olivares was appointed attorney Lori Jensen out of Garden City. His bond on the murder charges was set at $250,000 cash. Well, the 4.7 magnitude earthquake shook southwest Kansas at 1:42 a.m. yesterday. According to the United States Geological Survey, the earthquake was measured at a depth of 3.9 miles deep and was centered roughly 13 miles southwest of Cherokee, Oklahoma. The National Weather Service reported seeing birds take flight on their radars. Now, the Dodge City office tweeted shortly after the earthquake a picture from Vance radar indicating birds taking off after the earthquake. Now, according to the USGS yesterday, this earthquake was felt in 9 states: Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas, Arizona, Illinois, Nebraska, Colorado, and Arkansas. Now, if you'd like to see more about the National Weather Service, make sure to tune in next week for our 3-part series on the National Weather Service. I'll explain how you can see birds on the radar. The 4 U.S. House members from Kansas voted Thursday to halt the flow of Syrian and Iraqi refugees seeking refuge in the United States, the first legislative action on an issue thrust into the national spotlight in recent days. The American Security Against Foreign Enemies Act, or American SAFE Act, would temporarily stop the settlement of refugees until Congress is given assurance they have undergone more extensive background checks. It would also require the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation to certify background checks have been completed for refugees and require each refugee to receive unanimous certification from 3 national security officials: the FBI director, Homeland Security Director, and Director of National Intelligence. A group led by former Oklahoma Attorney General Drew Edmondson is opposing a proposed state question on farming, saying the ballot question favors industrial factory farms and foreign corporations at the expense of local farmers. The Oklahoma Stewardship Council announced Tuesday it will oppose State Question 777, the so-called Right to Farm proposal on the November ballot. Now, passed by the legislature last year, the measure calls for a statewide vote on whether the right to farm and ranch in Oklahoma shall be forever guaranteed. And anyone with no other plans for Thanksgiving Day is invited to share a Thanksgiving meal with the staff and friends at Stepping Stone Shelter in Liberal. A traditional turkey meal with all the trimmings will be served starting at 1 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day at the shelter located at 1015 North Washington. The community is encouraged to attend. Stepping Stone Shelter Executive Director Cheryl Lauterbach said, "We feel no one should be alone on Thanksgiving, so we encourage everyone to come and enjoy a meal with us here at the shelter." And Jesse Bernal, Barbara Mercer, and Roger Reed are the winners of the Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce 2015 Crystal Apple Awards. More than 130 educators, along with their friends and families, filled the ballroom in the Clarion Inn in Garden City last night for the 20th annual awards banquet. The recipients received $1,000 checks, lapel pins, certificates, crystal apples, and iPads donated by Cox Communications. Laura Boers, president of the USD 457 Board of Education and the banquet's presenting sponsor, thanked all the finalists and families for acting as support systems. And that's a look at some of the stuff that's happening out there. Stick around. We're going to be back with a chilly weather forecast after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV23 with host Chris Jewell. TV23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
And welcome back. We got our fly is dropping around inside the tower camp. It's looking pretty nice out there, but trust me, things are going to change. Let's take a look at the readings here at the station right now. 51 degrees, 60% relative humidity. Winds are out of the west now at 7. That just switched a little bit ago. Awful sunshiny, 29.83. Barometric pressure is falling. Kind of like the fly just did right there. Looking at the temperatures around the region, you can see everybody's in the 50s and 60s. Lamar today, the warm spot at 63. Looking at our current dew points out there, everybody pretty much, well, everybody is in the 30s. Looking at our winds, now you can see everybody is, there is a front coming through, and you can see it's right here. Everybody on the back side of that, winds are going around to the west, northwest. Everybody on the other side is out of the south, southwest. Cooler temperatures are coming with this front. As we look at our recorded highs and lows yesterday at the Garden City Regional Airport, 51 the high yesterday, 81 back in 2007, 22 the overnight low, 9 back in 1985, nothing in the bucket overnight. Looking at our forecast for today, it is going to be 61. Winds are going to be out of the south-southwest at 15. Later this afternoon, switching around to the north. Tonight, mostly cloudy. There it is, 22 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the north at 29. Tomorrow, you're going to want to wear a coat, sweatshirt, something. 38 degrees. It's going to be sunny. Winds are going to be out of the north at 22. Later in the afternoon, though, you're going to switch around to the west at about 12. Tomorrow night, 20 degrees for the low. Mostly clear. South-southwest winds at 10. Looking at 7-day, you can see tomorrow is the cold day. Then we start climbing back up into the 50s and 60s. Looks like a chance of rain coming in for the holiday on Wednesday and Thursday. Lows are going to be in the 20s and 30s. That's a look at the 7-day. Stick around. Be back with the markets and Dr. Jack after this.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
And welcome back. I'm now joined by my good friend, Dr. Jack Jacob. We were just talking about the wrecks we've been having in our high school football and college predictions.
Yep.
We were all in on Meade last week, weren't we?
I'm still reeling.
Yeah.
Now, Phillipsburg's a good team, and it was 26-21, so it was a close game, but still, when I saw that from down at Gary on my phone, I was like, this has got to be an error. Maybe
it's got to be backwards.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, well. Hey, Meade had a good year, though, anyway.
They did.
They don't have anything to be ashamed of. Well, the big game we're going to talk about first, though, is it's pretty local. Andale comes out to Holcomb to see who's going to play for the state championship in 4A2 next weekend.
Yeah, and this is, again, I I guess I haven't been paying enough attention to the Longhorns. I didn't really envision them going this far, and that's not an insult to them. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so
they were kind of sneaky good.
But based on their performance thus far in the playoffs, and they could handle Andale they could beat them by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
This is a rematch from last year,
right?
Where the Longhorns went to Andale last year. Now this year, Andale has to make that 200+ mile trip out here to play Holcomb,
which of course our schools are used to. They are not. So yes, so you take the travel time, you take where they're at. They struggled to win the ball game last week. They beat Hugoton by a point.
That one surprised us in overtime, didn't it? Yes.
So
good for Hugoton.
And then Holcomb won by like 5 touchdowns. So yeah, I think Holcomb really could go all the way. I mean, they could. They have a shot. They could. They could beat Holton, I think. So
it's kind of funny. We're thinking about Andale going to have to come 200+ miles out here to play. That game's going to start at 6 o'clock tonight. They probably came out yesterday, I suppose.
They might. But then you have, if it works out the way it could, Holcomb wins, Holton wins. You're going to have a Topeka, north of Topeka team playing team near Garden City. So.
Yeah, and they'll meet in Salina.
Right.
Kind of halfway. Kind of closer for them, not so close for Holcomb. Okay, and then we were talking about 5A too. That's kind of a surprise too, because on the western side of the bracket tonight, you've got Bishop Carroll, a perennial power in 5A football. They're taking on Goddard Eisenhower, who is the school's only been around for 4 years, something like that.
Right.
I mean, they're new. And I'll tell you what, I'd have never thought that Eisenhower would be playing Bishop Carroll tonight for the semifinal.
Well, no, I mean, when you looked at the district, you had both Goddard schools, Liberal and Arch City, and they were all not very good.
Right.
Or we thought they were all not very good. And then you have Goddard Eisenhower playing this deep into the playoffs. I mean, if a miracle would happen and lightning would strike and the fog would roll in and little Timmy holds the aluminum foil and the TV antenna just right, and Goddard Eisenhower would win, here you'd have a team that was 4-5 going into the playoffs.
Playing for the state championship. And they'll probably have to play. I mean, on the other side, on the east side of the bracket, you've got what? Help me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can't think
them.
We just talked about it.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
St. Thomas Aquinas, thank you.
And Mill Valley.
And Mill Valley. And, I mean, neither one of those teams is too slouchy either, though. Right. It never has been.
Right. So, I mean, at this point, if you're Eisenhower, you've already outpaced all expectation. But if you, again, if you're Eisenhower, you say, well, we've come this far against all odds. Who knows? So
right.
Should make Liberal and Arch City and Goddard feel a little better about themselves. Now they can say, well, the team that beat us look how far they went.
Yeah, there you go. If that counts for anything, but last time I checked, it doesn't.
No.
And the 6A on this side, Derby is playing Lawrence tonight, Free State.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right.
That will be kind of a slobber knocker too, won't it?
Yeah, it really could be. It really could be. Derby has shown that they are vulnerable. They're not the untouchable, invincible team.
Now, they've had those in years past.
Yes, they have. And they have that tradition. They're kind of like Bishop Carroll.
Right.
When one of those teams loses, everybody catches their breath.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't happen very often. Kind of like Hutch used to be.
Yes. And Wichita Heights. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
same type of deal.
Yeah, so they're playing and on their side, and that's, again, Derby will come out and try to stomp on you. And the thing about Derby is they try to hit you early. You go back and watch film on Derby games. All the games that I covered this year, first play from scrimmage, downset hike, hand the ball. Derby, downset hike, down the field. So, I mean, they're kind of like Ronda Rousey in MMA. They're going to come attack you early and quick and try to throw you off your game.
So you got to be ready, like what's her name? The home lady was the other night, and kind of put her down in the second round. So, okay. All right, well, high school football is getting interesting, but so's college. Tomorrow. Now, there's some big games. There's 3 really big games because you've got number 1 Clemson is playing Wake Forest tomorrow. That's not a big deal. that's going to be if little Timmy's holding the tinfoil and stuff again, if Wake Forest beats Clemson. And Alabama, it's funny how the SEC schools play the cupcakes or whatever you want to call them. Towards the end of the season, they're playing mighty Charleston tomorrow. So, again.
But you know why that is? Because in their case, they have a championship game that they're trying to get everybody healthy for.
Well, that's true. They do. They have a conference championship game.
And in the Big 12, since you don't have that conference championship, you've got to play those key games and make that seem like a playoff.
Yeah, it's what do they call it? Big 12 calls it one true champion.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you play everybody.
Yeah. But there are now a game with some implications is Michigan State is number 9. They're going to go to Columbus and play number 3 Ohio State. That one could be a tester.
And that one could be a...
Yeah, who are you going to pick in that one?
Absolutely, because you look at the speed and the strength of Ohio State. You look at the skill and the way that Michigan State is just so well coached, and they find ways to win. And for them, it's kind of like, don't make a mistake, because if you do, they turn it into points.
There you go. And there's 2 big games in the Big 12 tomorrow. You've got number 18 TCU is going to Norman to play OU, and you've got number 10 Baylor after losing last week to OU. They're going to number 6 Oklahoma State. They're going to Stillwater.
Right.
And that one starts at 6:30, so they're going to get a head start on the Baylor OU game by a half an hour. So, I mean, and Baylor, are they down to their 3rd-string quarterback now?
Well, there's a question. Jared Stidham, who came in for the injured Seth Russell, is their 2nd stringer. Well, he got a back injury last week. It's not structural, but every time he got hit by the defense, he said he was just writhing in pain.
And he got hit a lot last week.
He did. So they're concerned. Oklahoma State's defense is at times salty. They don't necessarily keep you from the end zone, but they make you pay when you get there.
There you go. Okay.
And so there's a question of whether he'll come out. Now, if he does, and I forget the 3rd guy's name because who cares?
Yeah. Who knew?
Well, he was the backup last year and then moved out to wide receiver this year because he wasn't going to make the cut up the depth chart. And now they're having to move him back. So when Seth Russell got injured, he moved back and started taking reps with the 2nd team. And so now he'll pull into that 3rd spot.
All right. And then TCU going into Norman. OU and Baker Mayfield seem to be on a roll right now. You know, they just seem to see since they lost to Texas, they seem to be getting better.
They do. And the thing is, you know, you're starting to hear Baker Mayfield's name tossed around for Heisman.
Yeah.
As well. So that tells you what kind of leadership and what kind of play. But I really think this one comes down to, TCU has every reason to come in and try to stomp on the Sooners' hopes. And history has said that the Sooners sometimes, when they're in that situation where they're trying to defend a spot, that's when they stumble.
They panic. We'll see how Big Game Bob, as he's been known here lately, does tomorrow. There is some good games to watch tomorrow.
There are. This is an exciting time.
And some good high school football coming up.
And the NFL has some decent games.
Yeah. All right. Jack, good to see you today, my friend.
Good to be here, brother.
Have a good weekend.
All right.
Stick around. I'll be back with some more sports after this. Hi, Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs weekdays at noon right here on TV23. We talk about news, we talk about sports, we talk about weather, we're even going to talk entertainment. We'll have live guests right here on set with me. So, every day at noon, tune in, High Plains Today. We'll see you then.
Weekdays here on TV23.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not? Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
And we're back. Hey, high school football tonight, as we talked earlier. Andale at Holcomb, 6 o'clock. Now, this is a rematch for a bid to the state championship game in Salina next week. In college, number 7 OU will host number 18 TCU. KU hosts West Virginia. K-State, they have the Cyclones coming to town tomorrow. And number 10 Baylor at number 6 Oklahoma State. To me, there's some good games tomorrow. Wichita State guards Ron Baker and Fred Van Vliet are in the mix for another major national honor. Both were listed on Tuesday's John R. Wooden Award preseason top 50 list. 2 seniors each made the preseason list last year. And in addition, Baker was among the final 15 at the end of the year, earning him Wooden Award All-American status. He joins Virginia's Malcolm Brogdon and Gonzaga's Kyle Wilcher as the only returning Wooden All-Americans to make this year's preseason top 50. And that's a look at sports. Hey, let's take a last look at weather before we get out of here on this Friday. It's warming up a little bit. It's up to 53. Relative humidity, 58%. Winds are still out of the west-southwest at 9. Barometric pressure is falling. Get them coats out because tomorrow it's going to be chippy. Go out and make it a super good weekend. We'll see you back here next week.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
Are you tired of worrying about going over your cell phone data cap? Tired of surprise bills and text messages asking for more money? Stop the insanity. Switch to unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. Switching is easy. Come in today and see for yourself. For a limited time, get free activation, up to $200 per line bill credit, and save on the latest smartphones. See how much you can save with unlimited nationwide data from United Wireless. See store for details.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting the